Okay, we'll open the meeting of the Board of Assessors. And our meeting is being taped by the West Bridgewater Community TV. Mr. Principal Assessor?
Mr. Chair, I will read the state of emergency public access notice.
Please.
Due to the public safety concerns regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting will be open to the public through remote participation only. The meeting will be accessible to the public via audio conferencing capabilities by telephone. If you would like to listen live, please dial 425-436-6392 and enter the access code 604239 to join the teleconference. Please be advised, the chairman may not allow questions from the listening public. Mr. Chairman, you do not have any appointments this evening. I have a number of updates. Applications for payment of real estate and personal property taxes are due Friday, February 1st by 4 p.m.
No, is it
Monday.
Monday?
Did I say Friday?
Yeah.
Monday, thank you for the
Yeah.
correction.
I know it.
Applications for statutory exemption are due April 1st by 4 p.m. The Plymouth County Assessors Office Association's virtual annual legislative breakfast is to be held via Zoom teleconference on January 22nd, beginning at 9 a.m. I think there's a notice in your packet.
Okay.
Town Hall is still closed to the public as of December 24th until further notice. Entry into the building is by appointment only. The Mass Association of Assessing Offices will be conducting a virtual course 102, the income approach to value, on March 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th. Daniela, did you sign up for that one?
Mhm.
So Daniela will be taking that.
Oh,
The Massachusetts Association of Assessing Offices virtual course number 5, Mass Appraisal, will be offered February 25th, 26th, and March 5th and March 4th. Did you sign up for that one?
Mhm.
She's gonna take one course the week of March 11, 12, 18, and 19, and then the Mass Appraisal course the 2 weeks of February 25, 26, March 4th, and March 5th. And the Mass Association of Assessing Offices will be offering a virtual course number 6, Valuation Administration, which conflicts with the same date as the Mass Appraisal course on February 25th, 26th, March 4th, and March 5th. So Daniela did not sign up for that one.
I really, as things go, those courses are good. That one there is, obviously if you're working towards something, that's fine, but the other courses are applicable to the day-to-day activities, here in West Bridgewater, like most communities, we have a vendor. And again, there's nothing wrong with taking the course, but it's not, on the priority list, I would put that one toward the bottom versus income market and that stuff.
And Steve, because they're virtual courses, she can be sitting in the office, taking it on Zoom, so it doesn't.
And you wanna take it from home, lying on your couch with that stuff.
The town clerk has asked that all committees and boards make a public service announcement regarding a misprint on the 2021 annual census street listing form. So,
How did that happen, I wonder? I saw that.
yeah, did you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Randolph thing, yeah.
Yeah. So, the West Bridgewater Town Clerk's Office would like to notify all town residents that it has come to the clerk's attention that there is a misprint on the back of the 2021 annual census listing form. It states that if you have an asterisk next to your name, you are a voter in Randolph. The town clerk's office is aware of the misprint, and it should say West Bridgewater. You are a voter in West Bridgewater, and you should not be concerned. You can cross out Randolph and write in West Bridgewater if you would like to. Thank you so much for your understanding. Ann Iannelli, CMC, CMMC, Town Clerk. I also just received an email from the Board of Selectmen's office. They printed out for you.
Thank you.
You might be interested in that, Steve. Or any other member of the board might be interested in this. So, it states, "Good afternoon, the Board of Selectmen voted to form a pilot committee at their meeting last night. And there is to be a representative from the Board of Assessors on the committee. I am writing to let you know, so hopefully you can discuss it with the board at your meeting tonight under your principal assessors report. Have the board take a vote on an appointment and inform our office as to who will be on the pilot committee. The committee will meet every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m., starting next Wednesday on January 27th, 2021. The meetings will be conducted remotely. Each meeting is expected to be at least an hour long, and it is expected that the committee will need to meet every week for at least the next 5 to 6 weeks. This is all the information that I have, so I'm not sure that I can answer any detailed questions. But clearly, the request is for the board to appoint or ask for a volunteer to serve on the pilot committee.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been dealing with these things for a long time and such, and I've met the gentleman, like, for example, that does it full-time for the city of Boston, and I got all the ins and outs, but on the workday, 3:30 is tough.
Even remotely? By TV, by computer?
Yeah, I'm not, yeah, I'd have to go home and sit in front of that thing, I'm not gonna do it from my office, or, I don't know if these other board
I'll
members
do
are
it.
interested.
I'll do it.
Yeah, good, definitely, yeah.
So would the board please make that a motion and a vote?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we nominate Assessor Bunker to be on the pilot committee that's forming at the Selectmen's request for the town of West Bridgewater.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
Is it unanimous?
Yep.
Thank you.
I did that many years ago.
That was the TIF.
The TIF,
Yeah,
that's right, this is it, yeah.
yeah.
That was just,
So, moving on to new business and old business. I had presented a draft of the annual operating budget at your last meeting, January 6th, and I sent you out a
Yeah.
updated revised vision, I think yesterday, and it's due the 27th, so asking that the board make a motion to adopt it unless there's something you want to revise before you adopt. And I made extra copies.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere, I just got the sea of insanity here.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
I just go over this when you sent it over. Yep. There was one that was sent out, just a rough draft that was somehow lost the clerical salaries or something.
It did not have the clerical salaries because it was up in the air as to how that should be reported. In other words, the clerical union is still negotiating last year's contract, fiscal 20.
Oh, I see.
So,
Yeah, no, that's no, I'm sure,
No,
I knew there was a reason for it,
no, I just want you to know what the
Yeah.
reason is. And so, I inquired and was instructed to add 2% to last year, and then the step increases for fiscal 22.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And needless to say, this can always change during the course of the budgetary process.
So we're looking at, obviously, from 21 to 22, you said a little over 1% increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And the good thing about this, I don't know if it's town to town or whatever, but that we can, within the personal services versus ordinary maintenance, we can move stuff around if there's, money not spent up, you know what I'm saying?
It's a bottom line budget, that's correct.
Right, yeah.
You're not locked into any one of the line items.
Yeah, because I can see, with Daniela taking an interest, which is a marvelous thing, to be commended, on on taking the courses, you know, and I do my thing, and, you know, so we'll need money for that, but, there's money in there to move around, if we have that to move around. So,
That's correct.
that being said, you know, I don't know every single dime here, but I do know that, one second before I speak. On the consulting services, are you're lobbying, you're putting together, that, we negotiated that same contract, right? With
Yes.
Patriot?
Yes.
And the extra 8,000 that was 20 grand a year. What's that, is that part of that license fee, or?
That's
No,
correct.
that's contractual, so, okay, yeah, so, that was 20, and I know that which I think is a wonderful thing, again, we had negotiated going 3 years forward, the same price. Realized that they know that some of their prices on users fees and license fees have gone up. Okay.
So just to be clear, Steve, on the line item 5398, contractual services, that's where their support fees are reflected,
Yes,
and that went up $300.
yeah, okay. That's fine, and, unless anybody has any questions, I'll make a motion to, accept the proposed 22 budget as presented to us.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm not opposed, I just have questions, because I know John sent this before and I thought I looked at it, but I think I just looked at the old one. So I'm just gonna abstain.
Okay,
2-0.
okay, John, thank you.
And I had told you at your last meeting, your review with the Board of Selectmen is on Friday, excuse me, it's not Friday, February 17th at 7:30 PM, and your review with the Finance Committee is the next day, February 18th at 7:25 PM.
That's fine. The old back-to-back, I like
That's
it.
correct. Similar situation with the annual assessors report. I presented a rough draft at the January 6th meeting. I think a couple of you commented that you thought there were some typos or some errors in them. I reviewed it, and I had the staff review it to see if there were any. We couldn't find any.
I'm sorry?
We could not find any.
Start again, what'd you say? I was looking at something else.
Okay. The annual assessors report. I submitted it to the board on January 6th for review in draft form.
Yeah,
I think a couple of members stated they saw some typos or some type of errors. I reviewed it a second time, and I had the staff review it to have a second pair of eyes on it. We couldn't find any errors, so
I had, and I apologize, I know, I had my wife go through it, you know, the English teacher. And she
Yes.
found, maybe one or two, maybe one, you know.
Grammatical errors, maybe?
Yeah, like a comma or something,
Syntax or-
you know. I mean, she's good at that stuff, you know. And I thought I got that back to you, maybe I didn't, but, you know, whatever.
but
It is
that's
what it
okay.
is.
But- So if you want to send those, certainly those are just Scrivener's errors, they can be checked. They
Yeah,
can be
no,
corrected.
that's fine, yeah. It wasn't nothing earth shattering, you know.
I ask that you make a motion to accept,
Yeah,
to
I'll make a
approve.
motion to accept the town report.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yep,
Is that unanimous?
yep,
Thank you.
thanks, John.
And next is rollover vacation time, which member Bumker asked to be put on the agenda
Right.
for this evening.
My thing is still the same. I think it just comes down to, I asked you for the list. I think it's reasonable to expect you to be able to provide it.
Okay.
I'm a member of the board, I'm elected by the town. It's no different than if Cheryl or Steve asked for anything.
But I thought they were being sent to you every 2 weeks.
No, that's the payroll. All I asked for was a list of the days taken off.
Did you have that, Jim?
I just want to give you the opportunity, is that it?
There really isn't much else for me to say. I mean, I would think that the rest of the board would support my simple request. We've had a problem with getting time off before. We've had problems that involved everybody getting involved off of Facebook and social media. So I'm just simply asking for the list.
Okay, so I want to thank you for persisting to do that, because I did that, and I'm going to present that to the board.
Okay,
I'm all set, I'm all set.
I don't need it.
Okay, so I'll just summarize. There are 3 documents here, I'll stick to 2 of them. The first one is a list of all the days that I took vacation for fiscal 2020. It lists the vacation dates, the number of days, and the payroll sheet that it's referenced in. There's also a copy of all the payroll sheets for the fiscal 20. And I thank you, Paula, because when I vetted this, I realized that I was not entitled to 5 days of vacation rollover, that I'm entitled to 6.5 days.
I know that.
vacation rollover. So, unless there's any other questions, the documentation, as I said, list of vacation days, number of days, and the payroll that it refers to. I vetted this with the assistant clerk treasurer. She went over these documents, I think 3 times. I went over them this morning. When I had submitted my 5-day request for rollover, the assistant collector notified me that the town administrator had called her to verify the 5 days, and she told him that there were 6.5 days in the book. I was not aware of that, and I don't know why the town administrator neglected to tell me that, but he was probably busy. So, unless there's any other unless there's questions from the board,
I don't have any.
I think you owe me a day and a half, another day and a half of rollover.
well, that would be just something you have to put in writing like a request, like with the others. And now, and thank you
Put it in
for,
writing again, because it's already been approved, that's our error, I mean, he should have had that before.
well, it wasn't our error.
Well,
He requested 5, that's what was approved.
yeah.
So if we owe him another day and a half, through formality with the town, because it still has to be signed off upstairs.
So if I could suggest, the board could make a motion this evening to approve the additional day and a half, and then I'll process the paperwork for the board and for the Board of Selectmen
That's fine.
to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the day and a half.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Said
Yep.
unanimous?
Okay.
But now, my question, and you are absolutely entitled to take vacation time, there's no doubt about that, but do you ever let the board know? Because I don't have any emails of when you're taking vacation, taking time off.
I probably do it a number of ways. I probably ask the board if I see the board members. I probably ask the board in a board meeting. I probably ask the board by email. I ask the board by text. I communicate my requests. And just the first example that comes to mind is, I think, Steve, I asked you for vacation time.
Yeah.
And I think it was at a board meeting, actually, but I think you responded, nope, don't take the vacation time. There was some issue that was going on at the time.
Yeah,
I don't recall what it was.
me neither, yeah. So much going on all the time. It's tough to peg it.
All right, that's Steve telling you it's not a good time. But I'm just saying, so for these days that you have here, I don't have any requests or any emails, just an FYI, hey, I'm taking such and such days off.
I don't know if that's the case or not, Paula. I mean, I could check my emails, but I think I have. But I don't have any evidence right here, right now.
No, I understand that, but I'd like to make sure going forward, because I know we've had this conversation before, and I have emails, you and I back and forth,
Yeah.
over me not knowing when you're gonna be out, taking vacation, and the confusion. So I wanna eliminate that confusion, so we're all on the same page.
Me too.
Because, you know-
We're in agreement.
Like you said, you see the board members, you see Steve, so you ask him. Okay, that's great, but you're taking your time, which is fine.
I just want to say, don't speak for me. I'm not confused. You know, you have a gal, a person that keeps track of that. You know, you're entitled to those days. Hopefully you're keeping track of it. I'm not confused until somebody says I'm confused, and I'm not.
Okay. I don't mean to put words and thoughts in anybody's mind. especially yours, Steve, because we'll have a knockout dragout before you know it.
Right,
I mean, I'm just saying, it seems you have conversation with Steve, or maybe you have conversation with Cheryl, but I don't have conversation with you, or just the very least get an email, hey, FYI,
Yeah,
I'm
I
taking
just-
these days off.
I just don't agree with that, Paula,
You don't agree with what?
what you just said.
What part of it? That you don't want to inform me?
Yeah, and please, like Steve said, please don't put words in my mouth. What I said was, I attempt to communicate to the board in any way possible. By email, by telephone, by text, I don't do it by social media. I don't go on social media. But I make every reasonable effort to inform you and the chairman and the clerk. I don't discriminate, I don't go around anybody's back. We've had this conversation before. I've made it very clear in the past that I will let everybody know.
Well, I'm asking you so that we can avoid this conversation, because it still seems that I get omitted from some of these things.
I know you feel that way, but that's just not the case.
Okay, well then, I'm asking you, if you're going to take vacation time, just send me an email. That's all.
I think I have in the past, Paula.
There are some times, yes, you have. Not all the time.
Well, I don't know that that's true. But I got the message. So I had put two proposed policies on the agenda. One is to suspend policy number 2019-04 until further notice, and the other one is permission for principal assessor to work outside of the assessor's office. You can scratch the second one, I don't have anything to present to the board. But regarding suspend policy number 2019-04, it's just a very straightforward thing, it's just a housekeeping matter.
yeah,
I was going through the policies the other day, and this was a policy that the board adopted on November 6th of 2019, when Daniela Nilsson was a part-time employee
okay,
of the board, and so she was asked to record the meetings of the Board of Assessors. There was a policy statement laying out the conditions that she will attend the board meetings, that I would coordinate her record-keeping effort with the clerk of the Board of Assessors, and that she would be remunerated on an hourly basis, fractionally per quarter hour at her regular rate of pay. Payment should not be construed as overtime hours nor qualify as compensatory time, and it goes on to three other points. The point is, Danielle is a full-time employee. This policy really doesn't need to be in place for the time being. So I respectfully request that the board move to suspend it until further notice.
I'll make a motion to suspend that,
Second.
policy procedure for the time being.
Well, wouldn't we just get rid of it completely, because this one specifically names her? And I'm gonna assume Danielle is not going down to part-time anytime soon. So wouldn't it be better to just eliminate it altogether and then maybe rewrite it? So
Yeah,
that if it has some stipulation for if she's not available.
I contemplated that, but it's,
I made a motion.
yeah,
So I hear a second? All those in favor? Aye.
But we still call for discussion.
is it unanimous?
I'm not sure. No, well, we discussed it as far as I could see. I just made a motion.
Well, John and I were I was asking a question
Yeah.
about it. If it made more sense just to eliminate it because it specifically
Right.
names her.
You made that after I called for a motion, because I just see it straightforward. At such time we reinstate it, if we gotta change it to somebody else's name or another person, we could do it at that time. It's really not a big deal.
I'm sorry,
I
is there a vote
made a
taken?
motion to suspend,
Did you vote?
I second, yeah.
yep.
You seconded?
All those in favor? Aye.
I'm opposed.
Okay.
Cheryl, I didn't hear you vote.
Aye. Yes.
2, 1, 0.
Like Steve said, if there's anything with change.
Right, it's not,
There
it's
are
a
a number,
local,
I'm sorry.
it's a local thing, so it's no big deal.
I said, like Steve said, afterwards, if it comes up, we'll just
Right.
do different words.
It's a local in-house thing.
So in your mail folder, there are a number of documents that need your signatures. There are two that I want to bring your attention to. They require 3 signatures. I know the chairman sometimes defers if there's 2 signatures on some of the documents, which is obviously legally binding. But if you would.
Some of these need 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
3 signatures on the first 2 documents, if they're still on the top of the file.
Yeah.
Because those are gonna be notarized
Yeah.
by the clerk of the town. And the notary section of that document states that the 3 of you
Yeah.
signed the document.
Okay.
And I had presented the draft of the minutes of, I think it was December 2nd meeting at the January 6th meeting, for your review and approval. So I would ask that you approve those unless there's some revisions that you want, amendments that you want to make. And I think I sent you another set of minutes about 2 months ago, but I just didn't have time to look that up, so I'll defer that to the next meeting. But if you would approve December 2nd.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented for December 2nd, 2020.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Is that unanimous?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't think I have anything else for open session. So, Mr. Chairman, a motion would be in order to enter executive session
Yep.
relative to the review of applications for abatement, exemption, classification, regarding purpose 7, Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 60, to review and discuss strategy of pending appellate tax board cases relative to purposes 3 and 7, Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 60, because to do so in open session could have a detrimental effect on the board's litigating position, and to review the principal assessor's employment agreement, and not to return to public session.
Okay, very good. And I'll make a motion at this time that the board enters into executive session for the purposes of what Principal Assessor Donahue had just related to. Do I have a second?
Second,
Do we need a roll call
Roll call,
vote?
please.
Assessor Smith,
yes.
Assessor Bunker,
Yes.
McCarthy, yes.